Tom Bower, the legendary royal author, is sharpening his quill for a new edition of his book set to reveal huge secrets inside Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's marriage.
There's nothing original here.
I hope you're having the best birthday you've ever had. Thank you for everything.
Which is really such a fake. When she was younger.
Hi, Daddy. I'm English.
100% a bully brat.
I thought, what is she not contextually aware of? She's trying to hide something. This is really sloppy.
She's absolutely ruthless.
This is Meghan's first trip to the snow. Your dad took her up to Big Bear.
I think the palace and the machinery of the monarchy needs to take Harry and Meghan more seriously and make sure that Harry and Meghan's antics don't impact the future of
Meghan is living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The reality is she's a joke.
But what they need to do is face up to the blackmail that's coming from California and in some way or other undermine Harry's and Meghan's credibility.
She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
There are so many telltale signs that something is clearly wrong with Meghan. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but I mean, how can you get your age so wrong? Did you know that in 1997, when she met Yasmin Bleeth, when she claims that she was working for Humphrey Yogurt, age 13, she also, or somebody with the name Meghan Markle, filled out a questionnaire for Sears, the company, claiming that she was 21 years of age.
Tom Bower's major allegation about Meghan Markle has stirred serious controversy because the veteran investigative biographer claims her public age story may not match old records he says he examined for years. According to Bower magazine archives, entertainment databases, and university timelines all raised questions about whether details around her birth year were adjusted earlier in her career when Hollywood pressures often reward younger profiles. He argues the pattern across multiple documents makes the issue bigger than a simple mistake. Meanwhile, reports claim Meghan's legal team reacted quickly behind the scenes, reviewing the claims, preparing responses, and watching closely as the debate spreads online.
No, I choose people who don't want to be written about on the whole, whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know. I wrote 4 years ago a book about Prince Charles, and it was a story about how he had rehabilitated himself after Diana's death and how Camilla also had to be rehabilitated. And it was a #1. It was a fascinating story. So when Meghan came along into the scene, I just thought, this is fascinating. How is this going to play out? To tell the truth, I spoke to very few friends of Meghan because she put a fatwa on anyone talking to me who she could. So I sent off dozens and dozens of emails to her friends, and most of them didn't even reply. And obviously I spoke to her father, who loves her still very much, and said, in the end, whatever she is, she's still my daughter. You can't beat the real story. I mean, that's the excitement of writing these sort of books, that in the end, nothing beats the truth, the real facts.
To understand why these accusations are exploding online, you have to understand who Tom Bower is. In Britain, he is known as a relentless investigative biographer who has spent decades digging into the lives of powerful figures and exposing uncomfortable truths about billionaires, media bosses, and royal insiders. His reputation comes from a very strict research style. Bower interviews dozens, sometimes hundreds of sources, studies, archives, reviews, private documents, and checks every claim again and again before publishing anything. That careful method is exactly why his investigations often spark headlines, debates, and intense reactions when new allegations suddenly hit the public conversation online today.
Many people out there have been speculating on that Meghan Markle has lied about her age. Is she actually older? This is a copy of 17 magazine, and it was published in March of 1997. In it, it mentions our Megzy from Los Angeles and that she was 21 years old at the time of publication. That would make her birth year at around 1970.
That reputation became even more explosive when he released his book, Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between Us, the Windsors. The book quickly grabbed attention because Bauer didn't hold back. He described Meghan as extremely strategic and highly ambitious, suggesting she carefully planned her rise from Hollywood circles into the center of royal power. According to his reporting, many chapters dig deep into the early years of her life, where he claims timelines and personal stories sometimes clash with older records and recollections. Bauer argues these inconsistencies are small clues that something in the official narrative may not line up perfectly, which is exactly.
There are so many telltale signs that something is clearly wrong with Meghan. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but I mean, how can you get your age so wrong? Did you know that in 1997, when she met Yasmin Bleeth, when she claims that she was working for Humphrey Yogurt, age 13, she also, or somebody with the name Meghan Markle, filled out a questionnaire for Sears, the company, claiming that she was 21 years of age.
Which leads directly into the biggest question fueling this entire controversy. Meghan's official biography has always stated that she was born on August 4th, 1981, a date repeated across interviews, profiles, and public records for years, but Tom Bauer's investigation suggests that detail might not be as clear as people believed. According to his research, certain older records and industry listings hint that she could actually be several years older. Bauer even floated a possible range that would place her age somewhere between 48 and 52, if those earlier clues are accurate. That gap may sound small, but in celebrity timelines, it changes everything, and it is exactly why this debate keeps growing louder online every single day.
You're wondering, why does her age matter at all? Because her age would also have an impact on her ability to have children. Because if Meghan Markle is 4 years older than what we have been led to believe, it makes it even more difficult to believe that she was able to get pregnant so quickly. Never mind the hysterectomy stories that her family have told. But that would make it more difficult because that would make Meghan Markle near 50.
And one of the pieces of evidence that pushed this debate even further comes from a surprising place, a 1997 issue of 17 magazine. In that feature, Meghan Markle was reportedly listed as 21 years old, which instantly raised eyebrows because if her widely accepted birth year of 1981 is correct, she would have only been about 15 or 16 at that time. The numbers simply do not line up, and that contradiction is exactly what Tom Bauer focused on during his investigation. According to his reporting, he did not rely on secondhand claims, but personally checked archived copies of the magazine to confirm the listing, which is why this single detail continues fueling intense speculation across social media and celebrity gossip circles today.
When she was 12 years of age. So there is something that is not connecting. There is something that is not right. And I haven't been able to get a hold of a birth certificate, of a copy of a birth certificate. So if any of you can get it for me, please do so. So I started getting some emails from some of the subscribers, and they said, what if Meghan Markle was adopted? What if there more to her birth than just her age? Could it be that she doesn't know her own age because she's been lied to by her father and mother? Could it be that's why Doria doesn't have a bond with Meghan Markle? Because what mother leaves her daughter when she's 3 or 4 years? Okay, maybe she went to jail. Those are the rumors.
The mystery deepens when another detail from Meghan's early career begins circulating online because older versions of her IMDb profile reportedly showed a completely different birth year, 1977. That single listing instantly caught attention since it does not match the official 1981 date repeated in public biographies. In Hollywood, changing or adjusting ages has quietly happened for years because younger actors often get more auditions and more opportunities. Tom Bauer claims he reviewed screenshots and archived records showing that earlier IMDb information, which is why critics now argue the timeline around her career and personal details may not be as simple as it once appeared to the public watching this drama unfold.
What is going on here? Why the secrecy around this woman's birth certificate? Why the secrecy? Why the mistakes in age that are so blatant for others? And you know what? This is like her education in university, that She claims that she double majored in international relations and theater when Northwestern has never given a major in international relations.
Controversy doesn't stop with magazines and IMDb, because Tom Bauer also took a close look at Meghan Markle's time at Northwestern University, where she officially graduated in 2003, according to school records. But when he contacted classmates and reviewed alumni directories, something unusual appeared. Most of the students in her cohort and friends from clubs like the Salsa Club were reportedly much older than her. By several years, Bauer even examined group photos where Meghan appears alongside peers who would now be in their early 50s, and spoke to people in those images who confirmed birth years that don't match her claimed age, which raises serious questions about how her early adult timeline has been presented to the public and why those discrepancies may have gone unnoticed for so long.
At that moment last year, she was about to promote her Netflix series and didn't want to firstly be seen with Harry, and secondly didn't want to go somewhere where she'd appear cheap and give it gratis. And this year she is desperate to be seen, and that's why she turned up. So I think she has a major problem, financially and professionally. And I think that Harry has a problem because he's lost his charity centre Bailey in Africa. He's better up, and all these commercial deals are declining. I think that his reputation is somewhat toxic, and I think Invictus is his only lifeline, and there'll be problems with that too.
I mean, we've seen people leaving Invictus recently. Important, I think that's you mentioned the Disney special. Does the Disney special at all?
Adding even more fuel to the speculation are statements from Meghan Markle's own family members that seem to contradict the official timeline. According to Tom Bauer, when he interviewed Thomas Markle, Meghan's father, he reportedly hesitated and avoided giving a direct answer about her birth year, instead suggesting people check records for themselves, which immediately raised eyebrows. Then there's Samantha Markle, Meghan's half-sister, who claimed the age gap between them was smaller than officially stated, implying Meghan might actually be older than reported family recollections and anecdotes. Like these create a pattern where personal memories clash with the public story and make viewers wonder how much of Meghan's early life has been carefully managed or altered to fit the image she wanted to present, while keeping the public guessing. Every new revelation adds another layer to the mystery surrounding her true age and background.
Well, that's her first wedding in Jamaica. Nice. That's one of my favorite pictures. I'd like to have that experience with my granddaughter.
The story gets even more intriguing when you look at Meghan Markle's acting career timeline, because, according to Tom Bauer, her early years in Hollywood were filled with the kind of small roles and auditions that many struggling actors face. But what stands out is a pattern suggesting she may have been older than the typical 20-something trying to break in. She booked minor gigs in commercials and bit parts that don't usually require youth, but do require persistence and determination. By the time she landed her breakthrough role as Rachel Zane on Suits in 2011, some observers note that her age was already higher than what most newcomers achieve for that part, which adds another layer to the ongoing speculation about whether her public age matched her career trajectory, and why every move she made early on now seems to fit a narrative that Bauer has been meticulously piecing together for his investigation.
Is Megsy really lying about her age? Now, when you Google her, it says that she was born on the 4th of August 1981, and with today being her birthday as of me recording this video, it's saying that she's 44 years old.
Things take an even more surprising turn when we look at the birth certificate of Meghan and Harry's son, Archie, because originally the official document listed her full name, Rachel Meghan Markle, as the mother. But just weeks later, those personal names were removed and replaced with the title Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, which is extremely unusual according to palace insiders, who told Tom Bauer they couldn't remember this ever happening before. The change immediately raises questions about why such a rare adjustment was made, and whether it was intended to obscure connections to past records or make tracing earlier documents more difficult, adding yet another layer to the ongoing speculation about her personal timeline and public image, and keeping viewers glued to every new detail that emerges in this unfolding royal drama.
And so he became hypersensitive and blamed the media for the crashes of his relationships, never thinking that they could have something to do with himself. So he's a very complicated, depressed, unintelligent man
who is seeking a role and has got really nobody on whom he could rely, which is in the end where Meghan stepped in. I mean, a needy man met a woman who could help him with his needs.
And the stakes get even higher when you consider the potential legal and financial risks surrounding Meghan Markle, because if any of the claims about incorrect personal information on official documents are true, it could be considered fraud, which in Britain carries serious consequences. Legal experts consulted by Tom Bower have even suggested that under certain circumstances, this type of misrepresentation could open discussions about the validity of her marriage to Prince Harry and whether annulment is possible. Beyond the royal household, there's also the matter of major business contracts with companies like Netflix and Spotify. If she misrepresented basic biographical facts, those deals could potentially be challenged, voided, or renegotiated, which means the implications aren't just embarrassing, they could be financially devastating, adding yet another reason why this story continues to dominate gossip circles and keeps fans glued to every new revelation about her personal and professional timeline.
So I have to ask, is this woman crazy? Is she that much of a liar, or is there something deeper? Because just to give you another example, she claims that she was 13 years of age when she started to work for Humphrey Yogurt, in spite of the fact that Humphrey Yogurt has said that they have never employed anybody at age 13. Number two, she claims that when she started working at Humphrey Yogurt, she ran into Yasmin Bleeth, and that she congratulated Yasmin Bleeth for her deodorant commercial. Yasmin Bleeth didn't do that deodorant commercial until 1997.
And finally, the intrigue deepens with rumors and unanswered gaps in Meghan Markle's early life timeline, because for years whispers have circulated about the possibility that she may have an older daughter from a previous relationship, a child who would now be in her 30s. While Tom Bower doesn't confirm or deny these claims, he points out that there are noticeable gaps in her public chronology that have never been fully explained, which naturally fuels speculation. Observers and insiders note that if she was born earlier than officially stated, these gaps start to make sense, and Bower's presentation of these inconsistencies leaves viewers with lingering questions, suggesting that much about her past remains carefully guarded and the truth may still be waiting to surface, keeping fans and gossip watchers glued to every new detail as it emerges.